Giants and Padres, the first game of this three-game series. And let's take a look at the Padres taking the field. And Bruce Bochy's Giants lineup tonight features Velez leading off playing second base, and Torres, Sandoval in the 3 spot, second in the National League in batting average, Uribe hitting cleanup. Valker, then Aaron Rowan in center, Ishikawa playing first, rookie Buster Posey catching, and Barry Zito on the mound.
And for the Padres, right-hander Kevin Correa, we just talked about him in our pregame show, and I talked to Darren Balsley, trying to get a little bit of information regarding each start for each starter. And you know what? He said, no news, Mud. And you know what I take from that? No news is good news. Kevin Correa is having an outstanding year. A great way for him to cap off the 09 campaign for a win for he and his Padres.
Coming off his first career complete game shutout in Phoenix. And we're ready to go on this Friday night. Eugenio Velez to lead off, and first pitch swinging, bounce towards the middle, cut off by Eckstein on the first, and that's the way this one begins. Here's a look at the Padre defense tonight. Gwynn at center, Venable in right. Salazar getting the start in left, and for Tony, who leads all Padres outfielders this season with 302 total chances. And you have to keep in mind, he didn't get here till, when was the date, Tony?
May 21st, I think.
21st?
Somewhere in there.
Honestly, Tony, to look at that TV and see your son, is it something that you still kind of have to pinch yourself?
Yeah, every day. Every day. I keep telling him he's doing fine. But, you know, everything's on the offensive end. You know, he kind of forgets about defense and, you know, getting on base and, you know, stealing bases, and he's done a good job.
Mm-hmm. Fouled away by Torres. Hitting very well coming in last 7-8 games, near 400. Torres, who was just a double shy of the cycle yesterday for the Giants. It's it high and fouled on the right field side.
Strike 2.
I was looking at this Giant lineup tonight, and you know, this is something Bruce Bochy would do on the offensive end. He's 0-6. He hadn't had much success here at Petco Park, and you know, you look at the career numbers against Correa.
Gets him looking. First strikeout for Kevin. 2 gone here in the first.
And he's loaded this lineup with guys, as you see Cheddar on the outside corner. He's loaded this lineup with guys that kind of had some success against Correa. Falcon's 2 for 3. Rowan is 6 for 13. He's got the most at bat. Sandoval 3 for 9. Uribe's 4 for 8. So he's trying to get something started on the offensive end here in this Giant lineup.
Here is third baseman Pablo Sandoval, which hitter takes down in the dirt.
You know, I just wanted to elaborate on that last strikeout from Kevin Correa. It was a fastball located away, right, yep, to the left-handed hitter. I remember a couple of bullpens. This was back in August. And Kevin's bullpens were specifically locating the four-seam fastball. Now, a lot of people might think, okay, I'm going to get my bullpen work in. It's in between starts. I'm going to work on my changeup, going to work on my slider, going to work on my fastball, going to work on my whatever. The whole bullpen session was slowing down the mechanics, getting in good position, good landing position, and locating the four-seam fastball. That's it. That was the whole workout. And that's where I think Kevin has really come a long way.
Slowly out to Eckstein. A couple of ground balls to Eck in this first, as well as a strikeout. And Correa sets him down in order. Nothing across in the Giants first, and the Padres coming up. Water District of Southern California. Cabrera leading off. The next nine, Adrian Headley batting cleanup. Salazar's in left. Venable in right. Blanco catching. With a lefty on the mound, it's Tony batting eighth, hitting .343 in his last nine, and Correa pitching.
Left-hander Barry Zito on the mound for San Francisco, 31-year-old. Been a little bit of a funk lately, but the overall, fewer hits and innings pitched. The guy doesn't throw that hard, and the main thing for Zito this evening is to staying out of the heart of the plate because he can't throw the fastball by people. He throws a cutter. He'll pretty much cut everything he throws at off the four-seam fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup. And he will lower his arm angle like you just kind of saw there to maybe that cutter is more of a sweeper, kind of shorter breaking ball.
Cabrera, Eckstein, and Adrian Gonzalez to the San Diego first, and the 1-2 from Zito. Chop back towards the hill softly, and Zito turns and throws out Everth. Here's the Giant defense tonight, brought to you by SD Storage, where $1 moves you in. Go to SDStorage.com to find a store near you today. Valker, Braun, and Torres in the outfield. Torres in right. Airless baseball and 324 innings played in the outfield. Here's Andres Torres. Giants again 0-6 here at Petco Park this year. Padres lead the season series overall 9 wins to 6. Second baseman David Eckstein takes a strike, 1-1.
Zito tonight, his fastball is going to be, high 80s, low 90s. And the question I wanted to ask Mud is, when he was younger and his fastball had more velocity, I always felt like his changeup was his best pitch, not the breaking ball.
I would have to agree with you because when a guy throws 95-ish, 96-ish, and then you throw the changeup that's 82, I mean, there's a big differential there because the harder fastball. When your fastball loses velocity, there's not that differential anymore.
Well, everybody focused on that breaking ball because it was such a sharp
when it was off the table.
When he was throwing it, it had great break on it. But I always felt like his changeup was a better pitch, and now that he doesn't have that overpowering fastball, it's kind of equalized. It's made his changeup a little bit easier to hit.
X sends it to right, and Torres a few steps towards the line. 2 down. Zito winless against the Padres this year. 4 losses and 1 no decision. Pitched against the Padres on September 9th in San Francisco and gave up 3 runs, 6 hits, and 5 innings. A game the Padres won 4-2. That was his last start against San Diego. Ball 1 outside, Adrian Gonzalez. Well, 40 homers for Adrian, 98 RBIs. It'd be nice to see him pick up at least 2 in this series and get to that century mark.
Well, I think they'd be easier in this series than it was the last one.
Takes a strike on the outside corner. He has taken Zito deep. This was in Zito's last start against the Padres September 9th in San Francisco. That was home run number 37 for Adrian. 2-run shot. That is inside, 3-1.
Kind of sloped the arm a little bit there on the changeup there, Tony.
Thought so.
How many hitters can pick that up? A lot of them? A few of them? I know you picked up
a few of them, I would say.
I mean, you could read Alan Selig signature on the baseball commissioner. But not too many guys have that talent to where they can, pick up the baseball that well out of the hand. Well, but the arm speed is another thing.
That's another thing. It's, sometimes guys when they throw that changeup or throw that breaking ball, you'll actually see them slow their delivery a little bit or do something different in their delivery.
So the 2-out walk to Adrian brings up Chase Henley, the third baseman. Chase getting the start at third tonight. Kuz just a little bit of tweak in the back, and he was a scratch from the lineup. Kuz on the bench tonight. And knowing Kuz, not too happy about it.
I'm sure.
Yep.
Padres come in 22, have won 22 of their last 33 games. Outside to Chase. 3 balls, no strikes. Hits the outside corner.
I was looking at these notes that the Giants put out for the pitching, and each, they give a bunch of information, numbers and stuff. Some of them I just kind of don't worry about, but there are some that I really look at. Zito is one of those guys you can classify as a guy that doesn't get much love.
Yeah.
The Giants have scored, and I'm reading from the notes here, so don't think that I'm, reciting this out of memory. Giants have scored 2 or less runs in 56 of his 97 starts. That's close to 60% of the time. That's tough to win that way.
Hadn't been a whole lot of runs for this whole team. I mean, they don't. They're not an offensive juggernaut. They're not going to be a team that puts a whole lot of runs on the board. And we talked about them being 0-6 here.
Adrian running on the 3-2 pitch, and it's back-to-back walks.
And with the way the Padres have been playing lately, I mean, we've seen this. 2 quick outs, a couple of walks, maybe a knock, and then a big hit to get on the board.
So Adrian and Headley aboard for left fielder Oscar Salazar. So Oscar was the late entrant into the lineup. And immediately contributes with a base hit to left. Adrian around third, headed for the plate, and Valker's throw is cut off by Sandoval. Salazar wasting no time. RBI single, 1-0 Padres.
What was that you were saying, Mud?
I was saying big hit with 2 outs. I mean, not that's anything new, because this ball club has been playing in such a way to where we can now expect something like that. And Salazar not wasting any time.
And they did not waste time. First pitch, change up. He lines it into left field for a base hit. And, Valker got to this ball actually before Gonzalez got to third. And
not much of an arm, though, I noticed.
A stronger throw, and maybe they get the out at the plate.
At least not on that throw is what I saw. It wasn't that strong of a throw.
Was it close to even being a play? Cut off by Sandoval. Here's the throw from Valker.
Sandoval cuts it off. And
right fielder Will Venable. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 2-out rally here in the first for San Diego. Real late tried to check. It goes around, and he's in the hole 1-2.
Bad breaking ball, and you see it up there, and you're waiting for it to break, and it doesn't.
And he takes the curve for strike 3 to win the inning. But the Padres do muster a 2-out rally, pick up a run on only 1 hit. The RBI base hit by Salazar, and give Kevin Correa an early lead to work with. Shortstop Juan Uribe takes a strike on the outside corner. Ooh, that's got Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Written all over it.
It's a big piece of cheese.
We actually had a little bit of rain here during BP. That's softly to shortstop Everett Cabrera. Low but out to first. We were all looking around during BP like, what is this moist precipitation stuff coming out of the sky?
Brought some serious humidity, too,
to
the air. Good for baseball. And Tony,
perfect baseball.
I loved playing in humid weather.
Yeah.
I mean, just walking the streets, having a good time, going shopping or something. Hey, now. Is that a Panda lid? Call Ron Burgundy. Get on the story. Panda watch. Or maybe that's Brian Fantana's duty.
The fielder John Valker. Fastball strike. 0-2. Valker, since being recalled on September 1st, 6 hits and 30 at-bats.
Once again, it's been another common theme as we Danny wants no part of that foul ball. A common theme for Kevin Correa lately has been ahead in the count like he is now. 0-2, wanting to chase a fastball up and away. That was by design.
One-two pitch. Jammed him and it's fouled back.
A lot of times during the course of an at-bat, you'll see pitches that are up in the zone. And I know people at home wonder, is he throwing it up there on purpose or is he just missing? And a lot of times, I think 70% of the time, they're trying to throw it up there. They're trying to get him to chase something out of the zone.
Breaking ball is high, and it's 2-2.
And sometimes, even if they miss the location, the ball is up and out of the zone. As a hitter, when the pitch is up, it looks good out of the hand. Therefore, you get a lot of swings and misses. So sometimes it can work to your benefit, even if you miss.
On the ground, Adrian. He will take it himself. 3 unassisted. Is it just me, or is it because of the catchers using what you like to term the Bill Dickey stance? The pitchers are trying to work up more.
Absolutely.
Up and out of the zone more.
Sure. They want to miss. And some guys need that big target up out of the zone to where they need that target to throw to. Some guys, the catcher's out on the crouch, they know exactly where they want to throw the baseball. Each pitcher is different.
With a guy like Correa, and as we saw the pitch before, you elevate a fastball, you get that hitter to get his eye level up a little bit, and then you come back with a breaking ball that starts on that same plane.
Rowan jumping on the first pitch and fouling it back. .15 home runs for Rowan on the season. Missed a few games over the weekend as he had a back issue. Tweaked his back. And behind the 93-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-2.
Tony, I've always thought Aaron Rowan and everybody has their own little trigger, their own little mechanism, how they start, how they finish. Aaron Rowan's always been one of those. It's almost like he's kind of straightening up, and then he goes into a little bit of a crouch over the plate. Just his little.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. It's like who's the kid? Totally open stance. Batista. Remember, he would his whole body was open to the pitcher, and then he would bring his hands back and then close up his stance.
Everybody's different.
He's probably been doing that since he's in college, huh?
It's a drive towards right center, and coming on, Venable makes the catch. Correa has set down the first 6 Giants hitters of the game. And the bottom 3 due up in the bottom half for San Diego. Leading off, and he pops the first pitch up foul on the first base side. It's going to drop behind the Padre dugout. Get a look at young catcher Buster Posey. Drafted out of Florida State. Molina on the bench tonight for the Giants, and they've got the young guy behind the plate. Veteran catcher Henry Blanco batting for the Padres and takes a curve for a strike.
I figure we'll see a lot of the younger guys here in this series.
Chase the breaking ball. Posey has to throw to first to complete the strikeout. Zito's second, one gone. Hey, fans, start your 2010 planning now with the season ticket priority wait list. Just $75 per seat. We'll reserve your place in line ahead of the general public, giving you access to the best available seats. Your $75 will be good towards any 2010 season ticket package. Call the number at the bottom of your screen, 619-795-5500 today to lock in your 2010 season ticket priority. A lot of people pumped about the 2010 season. Can't wait for it to get here. Here's center fielder Tony Gwynn.
Well, I'm always a big fan of spring training. Love going to Peoria. You count the days after the last out is made of the regular, championship season, which is Sunday for us. Before you know it, we'll be getting a drink and a bag of peanuts, flying over to Peoria.
I think these guys want to enjoy a little bit of their winter first before they start getting back to work.
How much time did you take off, Tony, before you started?
1 month.
1 month, and then you start swinging again, and
1 month of complete shutdown. Just get away from everything.
I wouldn't say complete. I'd say, a month of a couple of weeks of just nothing, and then gradually starting to get back in it.
Little tap. Zito turns, throws 2 outs.
I want to correct myself, something I said earlier. Remember I told you about the lack of love that Barry Zito is getting? I said the Giants have scored 2 or less runs. No, 2 or fewer runs. So my grammar was not correct. And I want to correct myself, and I want to get better. So this is actually a mistake.
Yeah, that's the way it reads in the Giant media notes.
I should have known better.
But you picked up the Grant.
Yeah. I'm like Ron Burgundy. Don't you understand? If it's written on the teleprompter, Grant will read it.
Kevin Correa swinging at the breaking ball.
I'm Mark Grant.
I think people forgive you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Way up high to Correa. Colorado has scored 2 in the first at Dodger Stadium tonight.
Flashback 1996.
I was just thinking, we mentioned that the other night, I think, talking about that.
We're going to keep a close eye on things up to 5 tonight. A couple of Ks in the inning for Zito. After 2 here at Petco, 1-0 San Diego. Brought to you in part by San Diego County Credit Union, your local financial partner for over 70 years. Giants come in with the 86-73 record, 7 games back, and third in the NL West. Will not make the postseason this year, but it will be their first winning season since 2004. Where's Boch? He and his Giants had a nice year.
Yeah. Coach got the most out of his team this year. In contention most of the year.
I remember back in August we were having a discussion in the dugout with a few of the people with the Padres, and I said if the Giants get into the playoffs, wild card division, whatever the case was, and at that time it was the wild card race, I said, you know what? I'll bet you $1 they win the World Series.
And you found several that would not take that bet because they thought they agreed with you.
Yeah. They're a team that's, like we said, you mentioned, Tony, they're not going to score a lot of runs, but with the pitching that they've had this year, third in the ERA, their bullpen, third. You know, a short series, you get guys like a Lincecum and
short
a Kane.
Series, those two guys you don't want to face.
3-0 to Ishikawa. He takes a strike.
So the bottom line is I owe somebody $1.
Well, you said if they get in, though, right? So you.
But they didn't. I was betting they were going to get in.
All right. There's ball 4 to Ishikawa. First base runner of the Giants tonight. A leadoff walk in the third. Brings up Buster Posey, the catcher, who was 1 for 10 in his brief major league career. There's one big league hit coming off the Dodgers, Jeff Weaver.
We talk about the fast track to the big leagues. It's been the big buzz in Giants land about Posey. Golden Spikes winner. 08 was his first year in pro ball at Florida State Seminoles.
Posey was the 5th overall selection in the first round of the 2008 draft. He is from Leesburg, Georgia. 6'1", 205 pounds. Fouled back. And as Mudd mentioned, won the Golden Spikes Award in 2008, which really is kind of college baseball's equivalent of the Heisman.
Heisman. Yeah.
Up the third base side foul.
He's going to learn some early lessons here in September because as a young player, you definitely don't want to be up at the plate kind of cutting your eyes towards the catcher trying to see where he sets up. So.
Like that.
Like that.
Is he peeking? Or is it just habit?
I don't know. We will find. It's my first time seeing him live, so we will find out. But that's not something that you want to get into a habit of doing.
Because the first time that he did it, you and I nearly snapped our necks looking at one another. Hard to tell.
He's a young player. He could be looking at the plate. Some guys like to look at the end of their bat as they pump it. But pretty soon, when word gets out, you'll have catchers staring at, giving signs, but staring at the hitters and seeing if he can see. That's kind of the confirmation if they sense that's what's going on.
Two up the middle and a base hit. Ishikawa will stop at second. Wynn plays it in, and Buster Posey has his second major league hit. 2 on, nobody out with the pitcher Zito coming up. Zito, who's been Very good at laying the bunt down. 12 sacrifice bunts on the season. He takes a strike.
I was just looking at the line on Posey. We talked about him in 08 being his first year of pro ball. And so going into this game, only 47 professional at-bats, 37 in the minor leagues, and 10 at-bats this year.
The 2 count on Barry Zito. Still looking to bunt with 2 strikes and takes it out of the zone. Zito strikes out for the first out of the inning.
That's huge.
Runner staying put.
Huge out.
Second strikeout for Kevin Correa. Back to the top of the order. Eugenio Velez. He began the game swinging at the first pitch from Correa and grounded out to Eckstein. Leadoff walk to Ishikawa. Posey singled. 2 on 1 out. Correa had retired the first 6 Giants hitters of the game. We were talking earlier last inning when Roan was at the plate about his stance. Velez's is a bit unorthodox as well.
Yeah, well, again, it's to each his own. You know, whatever. However it is that you feel comfortable up there.
I remember talking to you, Tony, years and years ago about how should a kid start at the plate? And you had a great answer.
Right side, only played for Eck. He shoveled to first, and they get Velez. The other runner is Ishikawa to third. And Posey down to second, 2 outs.
I remember you telling me if it's a kid who's just starting to learn how to play baseball or swing the bat, get it in a comfortable position that's comfortable for you. What matters is when he gets locked and loaded and gets his hands and front foot out, that's what matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you hold it like Craig Counsell used to hold his bat. Like
Carl Yastrzemski. Bobby Tolan.
But you get in that. What the important thing is when you get in that position to get ready to release your swing and make contact.
That's exactly right.
And that's one thing I've always remembered.
So, yeah. So you'll see guys, open stance, closed stance, front of the box, back of the box, close to the plate, away from the plate. All that really is your own choice.
Hey, now.
Broken bat and a foul ball to first base coach Roberto Kelly. There goes the barrel out towards Eck. Splinters out in front of the plate, picked up by Blanco.
He got in on him there.
In there.
Wow. I see 2 pieces fly. 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Man.
Breaky ball. He gets the strikeout of Torres. Well, the Giants had 2 on, nobody out, and do not score. Top of the order coming up for the Padres.
on Saturday, October 3rd at 7:05 when we take on the Giants, and get a Padres calendar.
Get your free Padres calendar presented by Golden State Graphics tomorrow night, Saturday, October 3rd at 7:05. Home half of the third. Top of the order up for San Diego. 1-0 Padres, an RBI single in the first from left fielder Oscar Salazar. Leading off is Everett Cabrera. Fouled back. Everett hit one back to the mound his first time up and is 0 for 1. Wants to bunt the breaky ball back to the hill barehanded, and Zito gets it by a step. Not a bad idea from Everett, but I bet that breaky ball looked like it was never going to get there.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly right. Now, Cabrera tried to wait for it. I'm not sure he was trying to push that ball or trying to drop it down the third base line, but it just never seemed to get there.
One away for second baseman David Eckstein. First pitch strike from Zito. Eck fly to right his first time.
You know what? Once Zito gets that release point down that curveball, he can be really nasty, and that's why it's important to get to him early so he can't use the curveball.
Well, he's throwing for a strike tonight.
If you get a fastball early in the count and you want to really drive, I say hop on it, jump on it, because as I mentioned earlier, he's not going to get away with a lot of fastballs over the heart of the plate. So what you do then, I would guess, Tony, is you eliminate trying to see that curveball by throwing it, swinging at an early good fastball.
Well, if you get one, sometimes you got to be willing to hit the changeup like Eck just did.
To right, and Torres backs up to make the play.
He gets that curveball rolling where he's throwing that thing for a strike. Boy, even without the velocity, he's still a very difficult guy to hit.
Zito's now retired 6 in a row since Salazar's RBI single in the first. 2 now bases empty for Adrian, who picked up his major league leading 116th walk in the first and later scored. It darts outside for ball 1. Zito walked back-to-back hitters in the first before the Salazar base hit. Oscar singled the lone San Diego hit.
See him trying to lower his arm angle there?
Try to run it in.
Watch the arm angle just a little bit. Not a lot.
And the breaking ball strikes out Adrian, looking in that outside corner. 7 in a row retired by Zito. Correa back to the hill. Trivia question. Hey, which Giant played on 3 last-place teams in 1985? He started the season with San Francisco and was traded twice during the season. So the Giants finished last that year, and then the other 2 teams this individual played on also finished last. The answer coming up shortly. Here's Pablo Sandoval leading off the Giants' 4th.
That's a good question. Not a fun year for that
player. I was going to say, whomever the answer is, that's a hang with him year, huh? Deep to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is out of here. Sandoval ties it up. His 24th of the year. And it ends Correa's consecutive scoreless inning streak at 23 1/3.
Turn on that pitch.
He tried to sneak a piece of cheese inside, and Pablo said, no. Watch how quick he gets the barrel there.
Wow.
When that foot hits the ground, and boy, he gets the barrel there, and that ball doesn't hook or anything. It stayed straight. You normally get a ball close to the foul pole like that, it's going to hook a little bit. That ball didn't. Stayed straight.
Going to miss by Juan Uribe.
Well, he wasn't afraid on that hack, was he? Coming out of his shoes.
Uribe's average has been climbing. He hit .347 in the month of September. He inspects his bat. Rolled out to short his first time tonight.
When we look at that pitch to Sandoval, would it be fair to say, Tony, that, okay, as a hitter, I'm looking for this pitch to be in? Because the way he swung at that pitch, it was almost like he knew exactly. As we take a look at this pitch, and that swing and that approach, it looks like he's got to be thinking, you know what, I'm guessing this pitch is going to be in. If it's there, I'm going to get all over it.
There you go. And that's what you can do if you're consistently getting in position like he is.
Deep center, Gwynn back and makes the catch on the front of the warning track. Uribe hit that ball well to center field. That's the first out of the 4th. Fielder John Valker, 0 for 1 tonight, with a ground out to Adrian. Strike 1 on the inner half. On the ground, Adrian makes the flip to Correa. Second time tonight, Valker is grounded out to the right side. 2 down to the Giants' 4th.
It's all about rebounding, isn't it, guys? First guy leading off, home run. Sandoval smoked it. Sure, Uribe hit the ball hard, but the bottom line is 2 quick outs for Kevin Correa after the home run.
And, from a pitching standpoint, I mean, you have to be honest. You have to keep him honest inside. And he took a shot. That pitch that Sandoval hit out was the same pitch that Torres, the inning before, snapped his bat off. Fastball in.
Right.
And, the good hitters are going to be able to get to that ball, and you have to keep him honest so that makes your breaking ball good. So he came in there and give Pablo credit. He hit it out.
Two 2-0 on Aaron Rowand. He fly to right his first time. Couple of hops into the glove of Hanley. Well, the leadoff home run by Sandoval tied it. And Correa retires the next 3. We're at the midpoint of the 4th, and it's 1-1. Cleanup hitter Chase Hanley leads off the Padres 4th inning. First pitch hacking line to left. Valker in a few steps. He makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's answer the Aflac trivia question. Which Giant played on 3 last-place teams in 1985? The answer, shortstop Johnny LeMaster. He was traded May 7th of that year by the Giants to the Indians. Indians finished in last in the AL East that year. Then later in the month of May, traded by the Indians to the Pirates. And the Pirates finished in last in the NL East. So he played for 3 last-place teams, the Giants, the Indians, and the Pirates. Those 3 teams were a combined 179 and 306 that year.
Bones LeMaster. Yep. What a great teammate. From Paintsville, Kentucky. Things got so bad for Johnny Lee, as we used to call him. One year with the Giants, everybody would yell boo when he came to the plate. They would boo, boo, boo. So he was talking with a friend of his, and it might have even been his wife at the time. See, everybody's booing you. Why don't you put boo on the back of your uniform? You know, where your name goes. Equipment manager put boo on the back. He went out for play catch before the game. Boo. Well, you're just saying my name.
A bouncer.
True story.
Shortstop Oriole. Throws out Salazar, 2 gone. That's funny because normally you hear something and they're not booing, they're saying such and such his name.
Right.
Well, they are booing, but they're saying his name.
Right.
Boo. By the way, LeMaster hit 128 that year.
That's why.
That's right.
Is that combined for that year?
That's combined,
total?
yeah.
That's a tough year in the big leagues.
It might have been his last year.
You know, I think he went to spring training one year with Oakland. I think it was in '87. Because I remember playing in the Bay Bridge series that year in '87, and he was with the Oakland Athletics. Good shortstop.
He could pick it. He wasn't known for his offense, but definitely could pick it.
During that season in '85, Pat Corrales, managing Cleveland, issued a statement he would soon regret. He said, "LeMaster's my regular shortstop. Only Ozzie Smith is better defensively." LeMaster responded to those words by committing 6 errors and hitting $150. Was benched after 9 games, and then Johnny demanded to be traded again.
Isn't this a great game?
Yeah. That's why this is my favorite game. I mean, you can come in all different shapes and sizes. Some guys could hit, some guys could pick, some guys got velocity, some guys have speed.
Out to shallow center goes the second baseman Velez, and the Padres go down in order. And Zito has found a groove. He's retired 10 in a row. We have no Johnny LeMaster sighting, but we have played 4 here at Petco tonight.
Construction. They're dedicated to 100% customer satisfaction since 1975. Get on the web at MurrayLampert.com.
Into the top of the 5th. Glad to have you with us tonight. Mark Neely, Mark Grant, and Tony Gwynn. Bottom 3 for the Giants, and first baseman Travis Ishikawa. Walked and was stranded in the 3rd. Ishikawa, great numbers at home. .349 average, was 7 of his 9 home runs in San Francisco. A .162 average on the road.
It's weird how that happens sometimes. Backgrounds, batter's boxes.
Lines one to center field, but read well by Tony. Makes the catch, and one out here in the 5th. Hit that ball well.
Right on the button there.
Yeah, that's a hang with him. Ishikawa did everything right.
Yep.
Tony, it's one of those situations where I've asked you before, what do you do? Nothing. You don't change anything.
No, go back to the bench. And
been a guy there for 180 years.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
180 is too much, isn't it?
Depends how
140.
You want to go back to rounders and
Well,
Alexander Cartwright.
1870s?
Well, 1893 was the first year of the mound at 60 feet 6 inches.
Okay, so that's where it counts.
Yeah, that's where it should count.
60 feet 6 inches. That's what we're at today. So start from there. That other stuff.
What year was that, Neely? 1873?
1893.
Oh, 1893.
But they consider really 1876, I believe, was the first year of the National League.
Yep.
High fly to right. And Venable near the line, but in fair territory. Squeezes out. Posey flies out. Base is empty for the pitcher, Barry Zito. Dodgers batting bottom of the 3rd. Rockies leading 2-0. Randy Wolf pitching for the Dodgers tonight, who's arguably been their best pitcher in recent weeks. If LA loses tonight, What's the best way to put this? Do they get even a little tighter up there?
Oh, you think?
Well, they're in. Wolf throwing tonight makes me think that that's who he's throwing in game one. Sabathia threw tonight for the Yankees. He'll probably be game one. So teams that are in, you're getting your rotations together.
Yeah, by the way, Rays beat the Yankees 13-4, so Sabathia did not get win number 20 tonight. All outside to Zito.
But to me, when you look at the whole Dodger picture, the whole Dodger team of 09, such a great start out to, looking back at everybody with a lot of distance in the standings. And then all of a sudden it comes down to this. Don't you think that kind of, okay, at least they're in, but wild card division, don't you think deep down, we want to be division champs?
Oh, yeah, they do. There's no question they want to be division champs. Otherwise, they wouldn't have carried all that champagne and beer on a pallet from Pittsburgh to San Diego. They got on a bus, took it back up to L.A. Yeah, you want to win.
Correa fields and will take it himself. One unassisted. Kevin's retired 6 in a row since the Sandoval home run.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
And it's 1-1 after 4.5.
Come on, Eileen.
Solo home run from Sandoval tied it for the Giants in the fourth. Padres scored first with an RBI single in the first from Oscar Salazar. Bottom three up against Zito and Henry Blanco leading off. Strike one on the outside corner. Henry a strikeout victim in the second. Zito going away again and just misses off the edge.
Zito's done a nice job. Both guys, as a matter of fact, have done a nice job mixing their pitches. Zito, the fastball. Look, he's had great command of his breaking ball, changeup.
Hammer time.
He strikes out Henry for a second time, and Zito has fanned 5.
Once again, I reiterate, once you get that release point down as a pitcher, that curveball, it just feels free and easy out of your hand. You get that snap, you get that rotation. Location. It's a fun pitch to throw when you're on.
And it breaks more than you think. I mean, guys try and put that barrel in a spot where they think it's going to be, and it's always a little bit lower than that.
Tony pops it up, and Uribe calling for it. Shortstop makes the catch, 2 outs. Zito now at 65 pitches through 4 2/3. talking about the Dodger-Rocky game over in the American League. Jake Peavy threw very well for the White Sox. They shut out the Tigers 8-0. The Twins are trying to hang on. They lead the Royals 10-7 in the 8th at the Metrodome. So if the Twins can close that one out, they'd be just a game back with 2 to play. Two to Correa. Drops the breaking ball foul back. Posey giving chase. Oh, 2 pitch. Another one foul. Phillies got beat by the Marlins. I mentioned that because you still have best record in the National League out there. Cardinals had a lead over the Brewers early, but Milwaukee's come back, leading 11-6 in the 8th. Towards the shortstop and just out of reach of Uribe, and Correa, a 2-out single. It's a string of 12 in a row retired by Barry Zito. A 2-out base hit for the Padres pitcher.
Hey, turn over that lineup, get to the top of the order, and maybe put together some 2-out thunder.
I thought he scored their first one. A couple of 2-out walks and base hit. Correa takes this changeup down. He stays on it, flips it into left field for a base hit, just over Uribe's hit.
If that's not a cricket swing, I've tell you what.
However it gets done.
There's the second San Diego hit. Now Cabrera nearly got him inside ball 1. Each time he's hit the ball back to the mound, one time swinging, the last time bunting.
Okay, I got a question for you, T. As we both recognize the changeup, how many fastballs would you say percentage we've seen from Zito tonight?
Percentage?
Probably a low percentage?
I'd say
half.
Yeah, 50%.
Curve is low.
I'm just curious. When a guy doesn't throw like 70% fastballs, would it be fair to say you sit breaking ball?
Sometimes,
or
yeah.
speed?
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, we're not talking about an overpowering fastball. But that's what he's done with his fastball. I mean, he's been able to cut it. He's mixed his changeup in. And I think everybody on that Padres side is a little bit nervous about the fact he's getting a breaking ball over for a strike. And it's got such a big break to it that, you know, I think the Padre hitters are saying I'd almost rather hit something else other than that breaking ball. But when he's had trouble this year, Zito, that is when he hadn't been able to get that breaking ball over.
He paints the outside corner and gets Cabrera looking. Zito has fanned 6. We have finished 5. Got a pretty good pitcher's duel going. It's 1-1. Rib, peel and eat shrimp, and over 100 scrumptious items, all for only $10. We move into the 6th inning here on this Friday night for Petco Park.
Cuteness sighting.
A couple of them.
Oh, I love those pretzels. With mustard? Oh, yeah. Sometimes it could be an airplane. See that?
Top of the order, Velez showing bunt, takes a strike. He has grounded out to the second baseman Eckstein twice. Love their Padres.
And I love the homemade signs. A lot of heart, no pun intended, and a lot of hard work goes into that. So, a job well done.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Did you guys catch the Steeler uniform right there? The shot of the sign?
No.
Guy sitting in the middle of the stands with a Pittsburgh Steeler
Really?
football jersey on. There
he is.
What's going on Sunday?
He's probably going to be getting
friends
text
are calling him,
soon.
hey,
Yeah.
you were on TV.
Here you go.
Tony Gwynn was bagging on your Pittsburgh jersey.
7 in a row for Correa. His 4th strikeout.
That's a cool look, though. I mean,
Who's 56? I'm not a
I don't
Steeler
know.
aficionado.
I know that's who the Chargers play Sunday.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It's always in Pittsburgh. Why is that?
Okay, that's the schedule makers on that. There's a bunt back towards the hill, and Correa throws on Torres. That's going to bring up Sandoval, whose home run to right his last time up tied this game. Probably not going to try to sneak that fastball
No,
in our half
I don't
again,
think
huh?
so. It's going to be, and that again, that's what happens. You know, you try to come in, a guy squares one up, hits a homer, and so now you have to change your attack maybe.
Goes away. A little bit low, ball 1.
Because as a hitter, you already hit a home run on a ball in. You just don't think, nah, he's not going to come back in there.
Stayed off the high one, and it's 2-0. The home run was Sandoval's 24th. It was his 186th hit of the season, which leads the Giants.
He's had a heck of a year.
It's the 4th most hits in the National League. The 3 ahead of him do have a chance for 200 hits. You've got Ryan Braun of Milwaukee came in tonight at 197. Hanley Ramirez of the Marlins 196. And Tejada of Houston at 196.
Well, the Milwaukee game, they scored
They
12
scored 12.
runs, so
I
you
bet
figure
Ryan
Braun's close.
Florida scored 7 tonight, beating the Phillies 7-2.
You know, a lot of guys, I know a couple of guys have gotten there, Jeter and Ichiro. I think Cano has gotten the 200 hits, so there's 2 or 3 of them in the American League that have gotten there.
Yeah, Ichiro's at 221, Jeter 210, Cano 202 coming in. Cabrera of the Tigers at 196 going into play today.
Yeah, that's a lot of hits. 221.
That's a down year for Ichiro. Most I had was 220. You know, Ichiro will get 221. He's the all-time single season hit holder.
32 fouled away. He got his first career ejection the other night.
I saw that. You're never going to get any love drawing a line from the umpires drawing a line at home plate. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, that's, you know what? He deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get to the point where you just don't think they can call a strike on you.
Put into play into left field. And Salazar Correa wins that battle with Sandoval, sets him down in order. He's retired 9 in a row since the Sandoval homer in the 4th. The 2009 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins on October 7th with the Division Series on TBS. There's the drummer from the Jimi Hendrix Experience catching the ball game tonight. On the play right side. Gary Zito has retired Eck twice on a couple of fly balls to right.
I was thinking a little Robert Plant.
It's tipped foul at the plate, and Eck's still alive. Robert Plant had crazy hair, but it wasn't that crazy, was it? That was like stick your finger in a light socket crazy. Another 0-2 from Barry Zito. Breaking ball hit slowly foul at the third base line. We just have not seen anybody square up one of those curves tonight, really, have we?
And some nights it's like that. When, Zito's got a good feel for it, like Mark said. He can throw it for a strike. He can start it in the zone and run it out of the zone. Changeup's been pretty good tonight too, and he's located his fastball. So pitchers that are on, sometimes it's very difficult just to square one up somewhere.
Out the third, behind the bag, Sandoval fires across. One down. High Definition is brought to you by Irving Hughes. Life is a lease. Negotiate well. The Dodgers have scored in the bottom of the third. That's their first run since the 6th inning on Tuesday night here at Petco, which was their only run of that 2-game series. They still trail the Rockies by a run. Adrian has scored the lone Padre run tonight. He walked in the first and was plated on a Salazar base hit. Waving a miss at that breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Those first two pitches, that's a good example of what we're talking about. The first one's trying to change the arm angle and threw that one for a strike. Second one, the one that started in the zone, and Adrian got it at the bottom of the zone.
And a little piece of that to hang in there.
And he changes the arm angle on that pitch. It's almost like a cutter. 81, 82 miles an hour.
Did it again. The ball had a little run on it.
Is that a cut fastball? Had some kind of...
Well, he does throw a cutter, and I was talking to Mike Kruko before the game, the color analyst for the Giants, and he said when he lowers his arm angle on that, it kind of acts more of like a bigger cutter, almost like a slider. There's the hockey suit
off Zito.
Oh man, I hate to see that.
Adrian has the infield hit, and here comes the athletic trainer and Bruce Bochy, and Zito, who's been pitching a gem of a game, taking a hard liner. Right off the pitching arm.
Goes right back up the middle. Luckily, it hit his arm. I thought it hit him in the hand. Not a whole lot you could do. That ball's right on top of you. Hits him right in the elbow.
Right on the elbow. Barry Zito's night is going to end.
Yeah, you don't want to take any chances with that.
Well, you hope he's okay. Hopefully it got him in the muscle part of his arm, and doesn't look like it.
Zito is pitching a whale of a game here in his final start of the season, and it comes to an abrupt end here in the bottom of the sixth. And Adrian Gonzalez line drive off his left elbow. You can stop by Discount Tire for a free tire inspection and air gauge. And if you're not satisfied with one of their tires, please feel free to bring it back. Outing come to an end here, but Padres finally did really square one up.
Yeah, there's a sequence that changed the arm angle. There's a breaking ball, starts in the zone and runs out. A little cutter. Goes for the cutter again away. And that's right. First time somebody's stayed back long enough and waited for that breaking ball to get there, and he hit it right back up the middle. And unfortunately went off Zito's arm, and he has to come out of the game. So, we hope that he's okay down there. You hate to see somebody get hurt anytime, but, here, especially at the end of the year. It's going to be his last start of the year.
Zito usually is a guy who also gets in pretty good fielding position.
Yeah.
That ball was hit so well, he didn't have time to get his glove on the ball.
Exactly.
So Metters is ready. And Headley coming up 1-on-1 out in the Padres' 6th in this 1-1 game. Chase walked in the first and lined out to left field in the 4th. Outside for Metters. What's going through Brandon Metters' mind, who just a few minutes ago was sitting on the bullpen bench, probably not thinking that he was going to be getting into the game anytime soon.
Well, I think that's the mentality you have to have as a reliever, especially a middle reliever guy. Nobody likes to see the guy get hurt, as Tony said. But that's one of the...
Right side diving stop. Ishikawa gets up and takes it himself and wins the race to the bag. The pitcher was there, Metters. But Ishikawa elected to hang on to it. He barely nipped Headley at the base. 2 outs, and down to second goes Adrian.
I was just going to mention it's one of the responsibilities of a reliever, a middle reliever. As Ishikawa takes away a base hit, possibly a first and third situation, who knows? And the race is on.
Huge stop right there. That ball's probably going to get through in the right field.
Ishikawa, he got to the bag. Usually you'll have enough time to run through the bag. But you got to slow up a little bit to get the bag, because if he went right through, it would have been a collision.
Yep.
Strike call on the inside part to Salazar, who singled in the Padre run in the first. Oscar in the 4th grounded out, so he's 1 for 2 tonight.
Well, 6th inning, close ball game. There's a left-hander up in the bullpen for the Giants. So one of those games now where Bruce Bochy will try to. They've got a lot of arms down there. Matchups,
Sandoval up with it. And throws out Salazar to win the inning. Base hit by Gonzalez, and ended Zito's night. And he's stranded after 6. It remains a 1-1 game. Mark Neely, Tony Gwynn, and Mark Grant. Kevin Correa locked up in a 1-1 game into the 7th. And cleanup hitter Juan Uribe leading off. Uribe is grounded to short and fly to center.
Hey,
Belts one deep, left center field, and the Giants have just taken a 2-1 lead. Uribe's 16th. Got a couple of solo shots tonight for San Francisco, and they lead it for the first time.
you talk about a guy not getting cheated at the plate with the swing he takes.
We were talking about that, earlier. Him taking a healthy swing, but this is what's happened. He's starting to hit the ball with some power. He's gotten some big hits, and that's looks like a little slider. I think he knew he got it.
All one low to John Valker. '54th RBI for Uribe. That's hit well to left center field. Salazar on the move. It bounces once on the track, hops over the fence for a ground rule double. It's just the 6th extra base hit for Valker in his 30 big league games on the season.
All right, it's time to regroup a little bit. A couple of balls hit hard. That was a slider. That was down the middle of the plate. Up.
Elevated.
I was going to comment on the home run off the bat of Uribe. This being the 33rd start for Kevin Correa. That's only his 16th home run given up. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Nobody out for Aaron Rowan, the center fielder. All one runs inside. Rowan in the second, flight out to right, and in the fourth, grounded out to the third baseman, Headley. Rowan clubs it to right, sinking, Venable in, it drops. Valker had to hold up. Now the throw to third, and he's in safely. Valker making sure that ball got down, so held up. Venable took a shot at third, but runners are at the corners with nobody out, and pitching coach Darren Balsley will trot to the mound.
This is one of those. That was one of those few plays a right fielder could take a chance at maybe throwing a guy out at third. Mm-hmm. As long as he keeps it down, and the cutoff man has a chance to cut it off, and that's. Valker was trying to go back to tag and then realized that this ball was going to fall in.
And also, you look, Rowan doesn't have blazing speed, and William comes in shallow enough to where, like you said, Tony, he can make that throw, because I don't think even if Rowan doesn't even break stride on this, the ball thrown so well to third base that Chase Headley would have had a chance to get to second.
Yep, and he almost kind of goat Rowan into trying to go for two.
First baseman Travis Ishikawa tonight has walked and lined to center. Last time up in the fifth, hit it hard, but was caught by Gwynn. The Giants came in with only 2 hits through the first 6 innings. They have 3 consecutive hits here to begin the 7th. To Ishikawa. That is low, and it's 3-1. Padres a double play depth up the middle. Ishikawa lines it into right. That'll bring in Valker to second, Rowan, and it is 3-1. 39th run batted in for Ishikawa. 4 consecutive hits for the Giants to begin this 7th.
Nice patience by Ishikawa.
And that's going to be all for Correa, who is rolling along. But the Giants catching up to him here in the 7th, and Bud Black will make the pitching change. Brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson, where we are always country first. And Webb.
Well, last time out on the hill for Ryan was Tuesday against the Dodgers. It was a 13-pitch effort, and he got credit for the victory. Posey's due up, the right-hander, and Kevin Correa just looked like the pitches that he threw towards the plate here in the 7th inning just caught too much of the plate because the Giants put some good swings on it. 3 out of the 4 were hit hard, and there were some times he just didn't hit his spots tonight. In fact, in this inning, rather.
The right hitter shows a lot of patience here in the 7th inning. Ishikawa's last at bat worked the count to 3-1, forced them to have to give him something, over the plate to hit. He didn't want to walk him.
So 2 runs already in here in the 7th. 2 men on, nobody out for catcher Buster Posey. Posey with a base hit in the 3rd. 1 for 2. Trying to bunt. Padres had the wheel play on with a shortstop Cabrera covering 3rd and Headley charging.
Can't figure Buster's been asked to bunt too often.
Now the pitcher spot due up next. But Lewis is in the on-deck circle, so they're going to bat for Metters. Going to swing away this time and see if they can turn 2. Oh, off the glove of that. And in comes Rowan. Throw going towards 3rd base. And a rare miscue. Going to be just the 3rd error of the season on Eck. Let's take a look at the throw here. Yeah, a little wide, but let's see who they give it to. Yeah, maybe towards Cabrera's side, but definitely Eck was stretching on it. They're going to give it to Cabrera with a wide throw. Lewis pinch hitting. Takes ball 1. Infield in, runners at the corners, and 3 runs already in here in the Giants' 7th. I'm glad you mentioned a stat earlier about Zito, about the lack of run support he's been getting. You know that he's sitting in there right now thinking, I get hit in the left elbow, and as soon as I leave, they put up a 3 spot and are still batting here in the 7th. There's the first out. Strikeout of Lewis.
Well, on the flip side of that, of Barry Zito, when receiving at least 4 runs of support in his career, he's 106-6.
Close to unbeatable. But has received 3 runs or less in 25 of his 32 starts coming in, including no run support in 10 of his starts this season. Top of the order, Velez 0 for 3.
That's unbelievable. I had to read that like 12 times, making sure that I was getting it right.
Which kind of takes me to the one thing Dick Williams talked about all the time, was putting runs on the board early. He loved first inning runs.
Runner coming home, and Cabrera looked at the plate and throws late to second in order to pick up his 2nd error of the inning. Another run comes in. 4th run of the inning to make it 5-1.
That play right there looked like Cabrera came up and looked at home, and this is a perfect double play opportunity here. And you see he kind of tried to feel that ball looking at home plate, where if he'd just gone ahead and caught it and flipped it to second, they'd have had a chance to turn 2.
The 8th man to bat of the inning is right fielder Andres Torres. Velez does get credit for an RBI, his 31st. Foul at the plate off the foot of Blanco. Torres against the starter Correa tonight, struck out twice and bounced back to the mound 0 for 3. Five misses down and away, 2 balls and a strike.
As good as the Padres have played here in this stretch, I can't believe what I've seen. 2 errors.
Down the line and left, and that is fair and into the corner. Posey scoring. Velez coming in. It is a 2-run double for Torres. It has been a 6-run inning for San Francisco. Well, you pretty much said it, Tony. This is totally out of character for what we have seen in recent weeks.
A lot of people are sitting here tonight stunned with what they've seen. Fastball down and in, just inside out. Look at inside out that the other way.
If taken, that one's a ball, definitely.
Yeah.
And here's Pablo Sandoval, the 9th man to bat of the inning. Get a solo shot down the line and right in the 4th that tied the game at 1. The Padres scored the game's first run in the 1st. But a big inning here for the Giants. Chase the breaking ball in the dirt. Torres holds at second. This equals the most runs the Giants have scored in an inning this season. They had scored 6 a couple of different times. The most recent was on Independence Day, July 4th, in the 6th inning against Houston.
We talked about it in the open. They'd only scored 11 runs in all 6 games they played here. And tonight, a couple of errors, cashing in on a couple of errors, and putting the 6th spot on the board here in the 7th.
Over Blanco, and a wild pitch back to the screen puts Torres at third.
Now that's a wild pitch right there.
Wow.
Infield in, hit towards the shortstop. Cabrera hangs on to it, looked the runner back, and throws on to first.
That ball right there almost came out of his glove.
I saw a little snow cone.
You might want to go to that other glove.
That's right, remember the switch. Yeah.
Watch how this ball comes up in his glove, right? And if you don't close your hand strong enough to keep that ball in there, that's what's going to happen. It's going to come right out of there.
Juan Uribe began this inning with a 437-foot home run to left center field. Upstairs to Uribe, 2 balls and a strike. Six innings for Correa. Plus 4 batters into the 6th. Gave up 4 runs tonight, 3 earned, 6 hits, a walk, and 4 Ks. Two. Way high.
Webb's got some giddy up now. 95, 96. He could harness that and paint, locate. That one almost got away from him also.
Popped up behind the plate. Blanco near the screen. Ends the inning. But the Giants bat around. 10 men come to the plate. They score 6 times on 5 hits. There were a couple of Padre errors. And the Giants bring in left-hander Dan Runzler.
Well, they've got a lot of breathing room, that's for sure. Something uncharacteristic that we've seen from the Giants, as Tony you mentioned before. Runzler, a fastball and a slider, pretty much a two-pitch pitcher. You get up there to the mid-90s. This guy started the year low A ball. He had 83 strikeouts in 59 innings.
Words in a strike to Venable. 6, 7, and 8 batters for the Padres in the 7th. Now down 7-1. One pitch. Wave and a miss. By the way, of the 6 runs scored by the Giants in the top of this inning, 4 of them unearned. So Correa's final line was 6 innings, 5 runs, 3 earned. And the 2 runs allowed by Webb in the inning unearned. Tagged by the catcher Posey and a strikeout of Venable. Here comes the catcher Henry Blanco. Henry fan twice against Zito.
Tony, how tough was it during a game like this when you were on the short end and to not give away at bats?
Yeah,
that's what makes this game so tough. Is everybody knows it's a physical game, 162 games, spring training, whatever. But also, I mean, the mind.
Yeah, it's more mental. You learn that it's more mental, and in games like this, 7-1, Zito's pretty much had your number. You know, twist of fate, he comes out of the game, and now, he's probably going to be a relief fest the rest of the way. Offensively, you just don't want to give them away. You just want to try to have quality at bats, and that's, swing at strikes, keep it simple, not overthink it. You got a guy on the mound you probably haven't seen before, haven't faced very much.
But this guy's got some live stuff.
And he's
too.
got, he's throwing 97 miles an hour.
.96 miles per hour up high for Runzler.
And same thing for a pitcher. I remember pitching to games like this on both ends.
Yep.
And people think, is the game really as intense as it is 1-0 as it is 10? Well, to me it was.
Yeah.
To me, the game was always on the line, no matter what the score was.
Runzler it is too. You got a 6-run lead, but you want to come out there and show people you can get outs. You don't want to walk anybody. You want to throw strikes. You want to work ahead.
Runzer's 3-2 to Henry.
Hit
hard and deep, left field.
Wow.
Blanco's 6th of the season. It's 7-2. Henry got all of that one to left and his 16th RBI.
Didn't I tell you that the phone on my limousine was busted? That ball was crushed.
That was not a cheapie. Talk about a short stroke.
You make a good point, Tony. For Henry Blanco, how many times has he faced Runzler? I mean, I'm sure we could look that up, but my point is, I don't think he's faced them all that much.
Well, you got to keep it simple. You can't make it too complicated. You got to make that guy throw strikes, and you're down 5 runs now, so you're probably going to take a strike, and then you're going to have to swing at balls in the strike zone.
Tony shortens up and takes outside. Blanco with the home run. Then he got a quick little back rub there from Matt Latos in the dugout. There's Matty. Two and one. Dan Runzler, who's a Southern Californian, drafted out of UC Riverside. As Mud mentioned, he began the season in the South Atlantic League. Low A ball with Augusta. And he walks Gwynn. Hey fans, don't miss your chance to win a shirt off a player's back. Presented by Sequan Casino. For your chance to win a jersey from a Padres player or coach, purchase a $1 scratch-off ticket at your next Padres game from a guest service representative, the guest service centers, or at the Padres ticket office lobby on non-game days. All proceeds benefit the Padres Foundation. Dave Righetti with the visit to the mound. Padres will have a pinch hitter. Yeah, take a look at what's going on at the park. At the park tonight, the young man practicing his hitting off the tee. And his Adrian jersey on.
What do you think of that swing, T?
Well, he's practicing the right way. You want to practice off the tee. Getting through it nicely, but it looks like that bat might be a little bit too short for him. He's got his pinky and his off the knob.
I think is that a wiffle ball? It's one of those black wiffle ball bats, I think.
Pinch hitter Edgar Gonzalez takes inside. And you're batting for Ryan Webb. Two and 0.
Pretty good pitch.
Two one. Evens it up.
And all that patience and stuff I was preaching a second ago is a little different when you're pinch hitting coming off the bench.
Ooh, wow.
It's him looking for the second out.
That's electric stuff. Tony?
We put that in a perfect spot. The 2-1 pitch was a breaking ball out of the zone, and then he comes back with this 2-2 pitch. And that's a good pitch.
Doesn't look like a shorter breaking ball than one prior.
Nice ball, strike 1 to Cabrera. Has grounded out a couple of times and struck out 0 for 3. (7-2) Giants in the 7th. San Francisco scoring 6th in the top of the inning. Runzler paying close attention to Tony at first. Off the plate away, 1-1.
Runzler's a spiker. You know what I mean by that? Ball out of the glove and he like spikes it. Like he's going to spike.
Yeah, I got you.
When he brings the ball out of his glove, makes my elbow hurt a little bit, right there.
Some hitters can pick that up, pick up grip when he sticks it behind him like that.
Almost like the big right-hander, Bob Scanlan used to do that. He used to spike it a little bit.
Some hitters are good enough to pick it up when he sticks it behind his back. I was not one of those.
You were watching up around the hat, right?
I tried to see it out of his hand. But there are hitters around baseball who are good enough to pick it up when he shows it behind it.
Slowly out in front of the plate. Posey makes a good play to throw out Cabrera to end the inning. Solo shot from Blanco. But now after 7, San Francisco 7, San Diego 2. Your chance to win at tonight's question. Who do you think's going to win the NL Rookie of the Year award? A. Chris Coughlin of the Marlins, Tommy Hanson of Atlanta, or J.A. Happ of the Phillies? Subway, eat fresh. You guys got to vote for any one of those three?
Coughlin's the position player out of those.
Yeah, that's the thing. Pitchers, position players. I like Coughlin.
Yeah, he had 49 hits. What'd you say? It was 48 hits last month?
In the month of September, yeah. Let the Aaron Pareda in for the Padres. Garco. Batting here for Valker.
Well, it's been a while since Aaron has been out on that hill back on the 22nd at Colorado. And he struggled with his location. 3 walks.
Bat. And Cabrera goes out Garco. Aaron Pareda, when the season ends on Sunday, will be reporting to Peoria and the Padres Instructional League. A couple of days ago, Bud Black was talking about some of the postseason assignments where some guys will be going. Pareda will be going to the Instructional League. Other guys will be pitching winter ball eventually. Guys like Perdomo will pitch in the Dominican Republic. Mujica, Sean Gallagher are going to go to Venezuela. Of course, Mujica's from Venezuela. There's Perdomo on the left, who will pitch in his home country of the Dominican Republic, and Mujica on the right, who will pitch in Venezuela. That's hit by Rowan softly. Ack up with it, throws him out.
As I mentioned for Pareda last time out, he walked 3. He was erratic. So it's a game like this. Yeah, pound the zone. Get a quick inning underneath your belt. Throw under 10 pitches.
That's the reason for the instructional league tutoring that Pareda will be getting. But
doing some grips there, Mujica and Pareda, or Perdomo.
They love the arm of Pareda, though. I mean, he can light it up.
Mm-hmm.
And is certainly a guy that's a candidate at some point to be in the Padres rotation. Hit by Ishikawa to left center field, and Tony on the run makes the catch. He had Salazar in the vicinity, and Tony just kind of reached for it. I think he heard some footsteps of Oscar and wanted to make sure the two did not collide. Tony making the play, and down in order go the Giants in the 8th. Sergio Ramos, the new hurler for San Francisco.
Fastball slider change from Sergio Romo. High 80s, low 90s. A little bit of tail on it. Had some elbow injuries in April and May. And he's a guy who's around the plate.
He's a strike thrower.
Part of the order for the Padres in the 8th. The neck takes ball 1. Nate Scherholtz is in the game in right field, batting in the 9th spot. Andres Torres, who was in right, has moved to left. Pitcher Romo batting in the 5 spot, vacated by Valker. Line to right. Scherholtz in to make the play.
Well, last half inning for the Giants, we talked about Runsler and spiking it out of the glove. How about the big right-hander? A little Scanalysis here. Bob Scanlan spiking it on the right. And sorry about the two-seam fastball coming back to get Andy Van Slyke as a Baltimore Oriole. Sit down, Slick.
Our guys are amazing where they come up with that stuff.
I know.
I forgot Andy Van Slyke is an Oriole. That didn't last long, did it? Ball went down low to Adrian. Adrian has singled, walked, and scored. Yeah.
Oh, is it an iPhone?
Got to come to the game with him.
Yeah, it's amazing, huh?
Speaking of Bob Scanlan, he and Steve Quiz have postgame coming up after the game tonight. And then don't forget, starting on Monday, postgame nightly at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday, covering all your local sports. And athletic trainer out again. I say again, there was the Zito incident earlier. Now he's checking on Romo.
Well, let's look at the last pitch. Kind of limping off the mound there. But look.
One count on Adrian. No, one out, that is, in the Padre eighth. Romo ready to work again. Romo's 2-1. Adrian waited on that off-speed pitch, but could not connect. 2-2.
From Romo's reaction out there, limping around the mound, you hear pitchers sometimes pulling a groin or something, maybe a hammy or something like that. Who knows?
Well, whatever he did, he doesn't want to come out of his game.
Yeah.
He wants to stay in there.
Bury the change, and it's a full count. Adrian walks for his second time tonight.
Well,
He's
he's
still
hurting.
feeling the effects of.
My goodness.
Yeah, here comes the athletic trainer again.
He probably just hurt himself worse.
They've had Jeremy Affelt getting ready in the bullpen, so they do have another pitcher ready.
This is not a time to try to be a hero here. I mean, really, if you're hurting, it's best to get out of there and let somebody else take a shot at it.
So they'll bring in Affelt. You can stop by Discount Tire for a free tire inspection and air gauge. And if you're not satisfied with one of their tires, please feel free to bring it back. And what a year for Jeremy Affeldt. Makes his 73rd appearance in an ERA well south of 2.
Well, that's why they got it. He came to the Giants and has been, really effective. And this is normally the situation where they would bring a guy like Affeldt in. But he's shown he could get both lefties and righties out.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good pickup that the Giants got. Fastball curve and a change, 91 to 96. Throws across his body a little bit. Kind of like Joe Thatcher.
Kind of. More over the top, though.
Right. Joe Thatcher comes with that facing left and right at that left hip pocket. That right hip pocket.
Slingshot kind of. He's got a good breaking ball. Always broke in with Kansas City. Had a good breaking ball and a good changeup to go along with it.
Affeldt inherits Adrian at first with 1 out. It is a 7-2 Giants lead in the bottom of the 8th. Cleanup hitter Chase Headley 0 for 2 with a walk. Back to the mound. Affeldt gets the out at second and on to first. The double play ends the inning. 1-6-3. First one turned by the Giant defense tonight. This game will move to the 9th with San Francisco up 5. And the 4th Padres pitcher of the game is Ernesto Frieri.
Last time out was Saturday. You see his San Antonio numbers, good numbers. And last time out on that Saturday at Arizona, we were impressed, Mark Neely. A good live fastball from Frieri, a nice breaking ball. It was a 12-pitch effort in 1 inning. He struck out 2 Diamondbacks.
Yeah, he fanned Drew looking to end that inning. Also retired Chris Young. And
I remember that.
Parra.
You know why I remember that? Because it was a nasty pitch. The ball caught.
And Drew complained about
a third inside part of the plate. Nasty pitch, Tony, right?
Ripped down the left field side.
Strike
by
one.
Posey, foul.
Legitimate, a ball or maybe even a ball and a half on the plate. And J.D. Drew looked at the umpire like, how dare you call that a strike on me? It's just like all the hitters these days, right?
Oh. Our hitter-pitcher mix-up here in the booth.
Yeah, you know how mud.
He swung as a double.
I have to listen. I listen to you guys, especially, being up here. I watch at home when you guys go on the road and stuff. And, Mud has a field day with all the pitcher stuff. So,
You got to balance that out?
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
High fly to right center. Junior there to make the catch.
How about the check swing we saw the other night on TV before Ionetta hit that home run?
Home run, yeah.
In Colorado.
Caught a big break.
Well, when you're going good, that's the kind of stuff that happens.
By the way, Rockies still leading the Dodgers 2-1, top of the 7th at Dodger Stadium. Twins did beat the Royals 10-7 while the Tigers got shut out, so Twins a game back with 2 to play in the AL Central. At least there's one race still up in the air in the AL Central. A little bit of drama the last couple of games anyway.
Yeah. No, but the Tigers and Dodgers, both of those teams seems like they've been in first place all year long, and to be coming down here to the final 3 games, still not knowing whether or not you're going to win your division.
Well, the last team to be in first place in the NL West, other than the Dodgers, was the Padres back on April 18th. So it's been a while that the Dodgers have been in first. And it would be shocking if they didn't win the West.
It would be.
Outside 3-1. And if they don't win tonight,
Uh-huh.
I told you, let's just think about 96.
yeah,
Now, Eric Quiros swore to me when we were working together that going into that last game, we were tied. Both teams were tied. We'd won the first 2 games of the series. That they really didn't care whether they won the game or not. Now I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't on their side. On our side, we came into LA wanting to win all 3 to win the division. We didn't. I mean, it was great that we were getting in, but we wanted to win the division.
hey, he played all that way to win the division. Why not?
Yeah, that's what we
plus,
thought.
The banner or the flag, whatever you put up for years to come, you want NL West champs. You don't want wild card.
Not if you.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, unless that's the only way you can get in.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to do it the way the Marlins have done it. They won the wild card, but the final banner says World Series champions.
Out to left field.
Right?
There's a bunch of those. Angels for the wild card.
But what I'm saying is, if you win wild card,
Sure.
You
don't care what it takes to get in. To have the opportunity to try to win a World Championship. But if you have a chance to win a division or be the wild card, I know we wanted to win the division. We didn't, we wanted to get in, but we wanted to win the division. And to lead all year long, you just got to have even with 3 games left, not to know if you won the division or not, going to be tough.
Torres with a 2-run double in there. 6-run 7th. Check swing, and he takes up high. Well, that leads to the question is how important is momentum heading into the postseason? And I guess you could be scuffling to the wire, but if you win your first couple of postseason games, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It'll pop up to short. Ramirez with the catch. Frieri, a scoreless inning. Last chance for the Padres, though. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Salazar, Venable, and Blanco due up. Padres break a 3-3 tie with 6 runs on 7 singles in the 8th and beat the Dodgers 9-4. Visit farmers.com today to hear real true stories from Farmers customers. Farmers Insurance, ready, feels good. Bottom of the ninth, Padres down by 5 and leading off Oscar Salazar, and he takes a strike from Jeremy Affeldt. Oscar knocked in a run in the first off Zito, gave the Padres the early 1-0 lead. San Francisco tied it with a Sandoval solo shot in the 4th. It was 1-1 into the 7th. And the Giants scored 6 times, equaling the most runs they've scored in an inning this year. Padres got a Blanco solo homer in the 7th. Trail it by 5. Fastball just missing at 94. 2-1. Giants trying to beat the Padres here at Petco Park for the first time this year. Ground ball to short. Juan Uribe. Cole Hops fires to first. And 1 out in the Padre ninth. Giants 0-6 at Petco Park in 2009 coming into tonight. The Rockies have added on.
Unbelievable.
4-1 Colorado, top of the 7th. Foul pass first. Right fielder Will Venable 0 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes.
Philly lost tonight. St. Louis lost tonight, so the Dodgers still have the best record in the National League by 1 game. But Colorado's closing fast. They could end up with, if the Phillies lost and lost both of their games and Cardinals lost both of their games,
they could have the best
the
record.
Rockies could win the division. They have the best record.
Yep.
Within a week, right?
Yeah.
A strikeout of Venable, 2 gone.
How about that? Who wants to play them at home?
Yeah, that's huge for them.
Yeah,
the
that
Rockies huge. Two outs here in the 9th. Here's Henry Blanco. His solo home run his last time up. He's 6th of the year, and it's 0-1.
Last half inning, Mark, you were asking about momentum, and that year we swept L.A. Then we turned around and got swept by the Cardinals.
So momentum is only as good as the next game.
That's exactly right.
Padres down to their last strike. It's been a while since the Padres have been beaten by 5 runs or more. They lost 9-4 at San Francisco on September 7th. And it's a 5-run loss tonight. Giants win it 7-2 and take game 1 of this 3-game series. And San Francisco wins here at Petco Park for the first time in 2009. We'll take a timeout. We will come back and wrap things up after this.